All right, going against protocol, pilot 1. So how did you come up with that?
I was talking to my mistress about
Your mistress?
my mistress. She doesn't have an official title, so.
Oh, that's fire. Okay.
But yeah, we were talking about like mental health. She's a psychology major.
Okay.
So, we were talking about it on a hike, and I was just telling her about how you were giving me a rundown on the animation for the intro.
Yeah.
I was like, it's the dude in a dunce in a corner.
Yeah.
So that's the kid that doesn't get the full spectrum in class. So the best way to go about that would be he journeys off and finds his own way in life.
Yeah.
Success and whatnot.
Yeah, I like it. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be that. It could be like a kid just doing something else, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I remember like in school there would be like the good quiet kid that would just draw in the corner and then he would get in trouble. I've literally seen kids get in trouble for being too quiet.
Yeah.
And like the kid, like he almost cried when he got in trouble, but it's like, why are you getting him in trouble? You know, like maybe he just needs a different way. To,
He's
like,
doing his thing, getting creative.
yeah, he's doing the. Yeah, maybe he doesn't. Maybe that's what he was gonna do. Yeah, maybe he was gonna be the guy who makes Family Guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So let's talk more about your mistress. I mean, if you want to go there, if you don't want to go.
We could go there.
All right, cool. So you a mistress, but is that like your only girlfriend, or is there multiple?
Nah, it's just her, really.
Oh, okay, but mistress is just like a good, like funny way to go about it. Okay, because mistress usually would be the second girl, you know?
Yeah. Iris, if you see this, I promise that's not your official title.
No, I know that's no. It's just fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I just wanted to get into that. Cool.
But yeah.
How was your birthday?
My birthday was chill. I went to San Diego, went to the zoo. And this is going to tie into what we're about to talk about. I want us to get into mental health. May is the month of mental health awareness. And when I was at that zoo, bro, every single animal I saw looked depressed as shit. I have this picture of a monkey literally sitting like the thinking man, but that dude looks depressed as fuck. It was chill aside from seeing all those depressed ass animals. We got drunk, stayed the night, stayed 2.5 days together. That was pretty cool.
Oh, in San Diego?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the first time you guys really go out and stay the night together?
Yeah, dude.
How was that? I know that's
That was
always like
lit.
a little pivotal moment
Yeah.
for a relationship.
I think that's like what. There's a lot of like ice breaking moments, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Like,
Like farting next to each other. I'm just playing.
well, she got like more in depth with like stories from her past. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm getting to know you more.
Yeah.
So that was cool. What else? We went to Balboa Park.
Balboa Park, is that like a main park in San Diego?
It's like one of their, I guess you could say it's one of their main attractions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it was crazy because.
What do you say? It's like Grand Central Park? Of San
Yeah,
Diego?
low-key.
Oh, okay. Like
yeah.
it's a huge park and people just go?
It's a huge park and there's like different museums, restaurants, or like. Remember that video I posted on my story where that dude was playing that giant ass.
Oh, yeah. And then you
What
said I lost
happened?
my wallet and somehow ended up here?
Different. It was
Different video.
yeah.
Okay, no, I don't really remember that.
Yeah, I lost my wallet on the way out from that whole trip.
Did you have any money or anything?
No, dude. The fucking guy returned the wallet. I got
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's. Oh, man. That's it with
Blessed,
everything in
that's
it?
Blessed. Everything, yep.
Yeah. That's sick. He just mailed it to you?
He messaged me on Facebook, actually, so.
Oh, and then you met up with him?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It was on the way back from a different trip. Like, this whole week was just a journey, bro.
Yo, you've been going on different trips?
Mm-hmm.
Man, I want to do that. I need to get out. Because in reality, I've only been to Texas to visit my homie. And besides that, I've only been to Vegas.
Okay.
Never really went out and explored. Like my brother, he always, I'm gonna go to Joshua Park and sleep in my car, which I think that's super cool.
That's lit. He's down.
Yeah.
He's down for the adventure.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't know. I used to be like that when I was younger, and then you get older. I don't even want to blame it on me being older. I just think it's just me not wanting to do it because I'm still randomly spontaneous. You know what I mean? But I guess just a trip.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like and then also like growing up. I kind of spoiled myself where if I go out, I'm thinking of like, oh, a nice hotel to kick it at. You know what I'm trying to say? Or what am I going to do when I land there? I'm supposed to just go in.
Mm-hmm. It's like...
That's half the fun.
Remember when you were like, you're thinking too much,
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
For sure, for a fact. And that I always... Dude, this was before George though. There's a website where you could kind of reserve a flight for cheap. Let's say like if a flight is $50 right now, you could pay like you could put like a let's say a flight is $100. 50 was a bad example. You could put $45 down,
Mm-hmm.
and then that price freezes forever. You know,
Oh,
well, not
shit.
forever for a couple months. But then if you don't go on that flight, you lose the $45. Bro, I lost $45 like twice
Oh, fuck, dude.
because I just canceled on it.
Fuck.
That's what I'm trying to say. I need to be more. I am very proactive, but I guess now when it comes to myself, and I guess that's why we're doing this.
Dude, but after seeing George, wouldn't you say you did like a whole 180 from that?
Hell
that
yeah.
spectrum.
Like even this morning, I'm not gonna lie. Like I was very excited, but obviously doing something new. Like no matter what George does, you still get nervous.
Dude, like I've been feeling that like for a while, but
Okay, yeah,
feeling
like
better
George
now.
is never gonna take that away. I don't
Yeah.
think, you know, because it's just a natural, and it's part of like, it's like, you know, like in order to feel happy, you have to feel sadness.
Yeah.
So you're never gonna get rid of
it's that
sadness.
balance.
Yeah, correct. So I woke up and I was just, I think I'm just cancel. Like maybe it should be next month, and then it's the same. Then I call it the George effect, where you're just like, no, I'm just get up, and I just started like emptying everything out, cleaning up, making it work. Even when the audio wasn't working at first, I was almost ready to be like, never mind, this shit's not working, and then I was like, I'm really not even trying right now. Like,
Dude, I was thinking the exact same thing
about canceling.
about canceling.
Yeah,
I
but
was
it's
like,
almost like scared because it's a new experience, right?
That's exactly what it is. But something I watched this video last night, and this dude was saying, you gotta take those negative thoughts and say the exact opposite in your head about those thoughts.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, fuck, what if we don't meet up today? And then the counter to that was like, all right, we're gonna meet up today, and this is gonna be the best fucking pilot podcast that could ever take place.
Yeah, and then the way I thought about it, like you went about, that's a cool way. The way I went about it, it's like, it is a pilot. So, okay, whether we go past this, we're still gonna have to do it eventually. And even if this doesn't come out great and we can't put it up for whatever,
Yeah.
at least now we know, okay, we couldn't do it because the audio was too rough. Or the video cut off, whatever it is, or maybe it does work out, and now we're just like, it wasn't even
It's
that
just
bad.
like these little, yeah.
Like it's not like, I don't know, I don't feel. Oh, but I guess I do need to introduce myself, right?
Yeah.
All right, my name is Audie. Instagram Audie makes it. I guess I make cool shit sometimes.
Yes,
That's what I
sir.
do, you know. I kind of like figured out how to make money out of that, and that's what I do for a living now. You know?
So how you approach it, or how I'm approaching like you and your view is like you're a trendcaster, but at the same time you're able to make the wave. You know what I mean?
Kind of, yeah. I suppose that sounds very egotistical, but yeah,
Like
yeah.
in that.
Yeah, in there, you know? I would agree. I would say yeah. Yeah. And I would say, like, my track record, like, before I used to kind of be shy to talk about it, but now it's just, like, I have a little track record, I know people, and then people know me for being a hard worker, you know?
Yeah, bro, definitely.
Yeah, like, I don't really have, like, I don't have crazy followers, but the people that do follow me could back me up and be like, okay, this guy is not only creative, he's a hard worker. Which,
right here, bro.
yeah. Nice. Which usually you only get 50-50, you know? Like, you get, like, the creative who's just like, oh, I know everything. I'm super cool. Or, like, I know what's fire. And then it's
That's
like...
like
oh,
that big ego.
yeah. It's like ego. And then it's like, all right, you know what's fire? All right, let's start getting production ready. And there is like, oh, I don't do that. You need to hire somebody else for that. And, you know, that works for some people. But that's what makes me different. It's like, I'm like 3-in-1. I'll do production. I'll create for you. And I'll kind of help you improve your vision so it expands to the world.
Ultimately,
you know?
I feel like that's what's going to bring you your success in this field. Just being able to understand all the
Yeah.
different, well, every aspect of it.
Yeah, I used to
really.
look down on it too. I used to be like, maybe I need to be more like these kids to think they're super cool and above people.
Yeah.
And then I kind of started trying to be like, no, I don't pick shit up. Like, I don't. And I started noticing, like, that's not even me, dude. Like, I do enjoy it. Like, whenever I go to a contractor and I see them, like, unloading, I want to go over there and help them unload, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like I feel forced to. And then at the end of the day, I noticed that that's what gives me so much leverage. I used to never see it that way. And two people would tell me like, oh, and I also don't charge people. Like if you ask me for help, I'm gonna give you my contact.
Yeah.
I have no shame in it because the way
That's
I
building
see
a
it,
relation right there.
yeah, and the way I see it, I'm talented, so I could give everybody all my contacts, but it's not gonna take nothing away from me. I'm still gonna be me. You know, and then what I've noticed, that a lot of people call me like, hey, like, this guy's charging me a lot. Like, I thought he charged you, or I seen you get hooked up. It's like, bro, like that's because it's me, and not even because it's me, like in an egotistical way, but like I said, like people don't see the background story where I show up, I see them unloading. It's not my job to help them unload.
Selfless help.
Selfless help that eventually turns into them wanting to help me without me even asking. You know,
what you've done and what you're doing is you're building a community. You know.
Correct. I mean? You know, and then a lot of people. You know, because there's a lot of brands. Like I fuck with all the brands, especially from San Pedro. I fuck with everybody from San Pedro, but I do see them. They have more. They have more followers than me. Their brand and everything, but like eventually, they can't get the same deals that I can. They don't shake the same hands that I do. Their egos are too fragile to even reach out. Like you know me, bro. I reach out to everybody. Shout out Rosecrans Vic. Shout out Cali. Shout out everybody who's ever fucked with me. You know, just off a DM. Yeah. And like fuck, a lot of people, and I'm not sending hard DMs like, oh, you need me. I'm sending like, let me provide something for you first before anything, you know.
You're sending DMs that kill pride.
Exactly, and it's not like everybody's writing back. And I know some people are laughing like, haha, look at this kid. Like, who cares, bro? Like I used to think of that like, oh, they're looking at me like I'm weak or something. Like, at the end of the day, bro, like I'm not weak. Like everybody knows that, you know, everybody who really needs to. I don't need to prove anything, you know?
Not at all.
So I just need to prove that I am creative and I am a hard worker, you know? So that's pretty much how I go about it.
Prove to yourself that you're able to do everything that you're setting out to do.
Yeah, and everything that like God gave me, or like if you don't listen out there, if you don't believe in God, anything that the universe or whatever you believe in, your parents gave you, use it. Like my parents gave me, since I was little, they told me like, be a hard worker. Be a hard worker. Like even if you do have a talent, that doesn't take. What, you think you're better than somebody else? Like, okay, like you're a salesman and you have a good contact book. You think you're above somebody? Like, no, bro, you're not. You're just a good bullshitter probably that that got a good contact book. You know,
like
it doesn't put you above like somebody. I hate people that think their title means anything, because a title is just a title. Like you're that weak-minded that you think you being like a position in a company makes you above somebody. No, the only person that I really have respect for in any company is the CEO, because that's the guy that really made it from nothing, you know, or whatever. Like whether it's nothing, because I also don't judge people. A lot of people judge people on, oh, they came from money, their parents had this. I don't judge people for that, because if my parents came from money and they gave me money, it's still, bro, somebody could give you $20,000 right now. Doesn't mean you're gonna be successful.
Facts.
You still have to kind of like figure it out, you know,
want to be successful
and fail.
To do with it.
And fail. You like I know now from experience. Even if your parents hand you everything, you still have to fail, and you still have to wake up that morning when you feel like shit from failing. No matter how much money you have, you know, like your mental doesn't care about how much money you have. You're still like, you're a failure, blah blah. But then you get up and you go. That's why I respect CEOs. But then people who are just like managers, are like, bro. Whether you're a manager at Google, I see you just as a manager at fucking Burger King. You know what I mean? Like, you're just a worker, buddy. Like, I'm sorry. You know, you didn't really put that effort in. And like, shout out to all the workers, though. But what I'm trying to say is, if you're a worker and you're in a position, don't feel like you're above anybody. Because in reality, bro, like, you're not. Like, you're just not.
It's like, who got stuck working for somebody else and who's willing to make the wave and
correct.
For their dream.
Correct. And of course, right now at this very moment, I'm not really up where I need to be, but obviously when you're heading to a long ass road as opposed to just going to the corner, it's going to take you longer to get to, you know, like it's common sense.
Bro, to touch back on traveling.
Yeah.
Like eventually I could see this podcast getting big and us traveling the world, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's essentially what it is going to be, you know. We're going to help other people build their own podcast and their own, like, the key to, now this is turning into me preaching, but this is what I like to do. Anybody who knows me, I've always kind of been this way. The key to, like, life is helping people.
Facts. No
matter what you want to do. Like, you want to be a mechanic? First you have to help people fix their cars for free, because then they'll call you like, hey, there's a problem with my car, I'm down to pay you, because you already helped them for free.
Or it's like helping a buddy with a job.
Exactly. And then next time you go and like see somebody else, hey, I seen you working on that car with that guy, you think you could help me out? You could be like, yeah, but you were just helping for free, you didn't get paid, you know.
You're getting paid in experience and knowledge, right?
Correct. Yeah. But then again, to all, because then there's a lot of fucking pieces of shits out there who are watching on there. Just, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of kids.
Yeah.
You know, like as creatives or like as talented people, we choose who we're gonna work for free for. So because then there's a lot of people who like trick you into like, oh, we're gonna pay you this and this and this, and then when you're like, hey, where's my money? They're like, oh, we gave you this opportunity that nobody else would have gave you. It's like, bro, but we agreed to something in the very beginning, you know? Like,
how do you avoid the people that are trying to take advantage of you?
You just can't, bro. You just can't, because the minute you're avoiding taking an L, then you're avoiding all wins.
Facts, bro. Facts.
It took me so long to learn that, like, yeah, because like the second I started being like, no, I'm not gonna let them rip me off. Then sometimes a lot of people aren't ripping you off. Sometimes within the mix there is good people, you know. So you just kind of have to go about it,
bro,
and learn how to take your loss, you know. And it's not a loss; it's a lesson now, because now you know not to fuck with those people, you know.
My mom and I just had a conversation about this because of the whole accident. She was like, Jordan, you trust people too much. And I was like, I'd rather trust too many people and take that risk of getting out there and experiencing life than staying cooped up inside home all day.
Yeah, your mom is kind of right too, but then also like you have to trust people, but then also be aware to like, bam, okay, this is bad. This is bad right here. Like, let me separate myself. And it doesn't have. And then what I recently learned, it doesn't have to be beef or problems or anything. You can kind of just separate yourself.
Yeah, let's get distant from it.
Just get distant. No problems or anything. Still be like, yo, how are you doing? Like, right back, Instagram friends, whatever, you know. But yeah, don't get too mad about it.
Don't burn the bridge.
Yeah, I burn a lot of bridges just because of that. Because of I used to have like, I mean, I'm never gonna get away from it, but I am very vocal. Like once I see somebody like doing something wrong, or I think they're doing something wrong, I'm, hey bro, are you doing this? And then a lot of people think of that as being aggressive. Yeah. I know, I'm just trying to snip something in the butt right away, you know, and then we could go our separate ways.
There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing, but a lot of people do see, because they are snakes, you know.
They're snakes, or they're really sensitive people.
Yeah, usually when you bring something up to somebody that they're not really like doing on purpose, there's really no reason for them to like flip out or try to put dirt on your name, you know. Like if you weren't doing it on purpose, why are you like getting so crazy about it?
Yeah.
You know, like why are you getting so sensitive about it?
You see them like switch to a defensive perspective,
mode, yeah. Or like start gossiping. Like you helped them out for years, right? And then all of a sudden you say no to something, or you guys go your separate ways, and then they start like bad mouthing you. Yeah. Like, oh, okay, like you never really had any good intentions to begin with, then, you know.
As a creator, I feel like everybody's looking for originality, right? Everybody wants that next big thing. Yeah. So working in this field, have you experienced like snakes a lot?
Yeah. A shitload. Like in the first, like with the first company that I worked, I would put them out, but I feel like it would be like eventually that would be more advertised. It would be helping them more if I say their name, you know.
Is it?
But yeah, you know. But yeah, in the first company that I worked with, like from the beginning, but I already knew it, but I stuck. I'm not gonna blame them because I stuck from the very beginning. They told me like, no, we don't like helping people because you're just gonna become competition. Literally told me that to my face, and I was like, no, I'm not. Like I'll always be grateful, you know, just being very humble. And I stood there for years. They used to treat me like shit. They used to make fun of me for working hard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're running around or doing the most, taking notes, like trying to get their job done, they would just, like, make fun of me, like, oh, he's doing too much, like, he's trying too hard. Like, trying too hard, bro. Like, I'm trying too hard for your company. How could you ever say that about anybody?
They envy your hard work. That's what it was.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. And then, like, I remember when I first started there, shout out my homie Stu. He was the designer there at first. And then, they were trying to put us against each other, low key, but then we became friends. Yeah. And then
you guys became friends like through working there, or
because then eventually we would just start. Me and the homie Stu we're very much alike. As much as he doesn't like to see it that way, shout out Stu. No, we're very much alike, but very much different at the same time, you know. But yeah, so we kind of seen it, so we started talking to each other, and then we're like, oh, without saying any words, we could kind of tell what was going on. So then we would just communicate with each other. Then we would set prices to design, so now nobody was getting ripped off, or they weren't coming to me to get a better price, and then not pay him, you know. So even if they come to me, they're still gonna lose the same amount of money. We kind of made it that way. Yeah. And then he even witnessed it when I first got there. I was trying to design pants, like loose fitting pants, and they were just like, look at him. He's just like a ghetto kid. He thinks loose pants are gonna be back in. This is where, like, when the Fear of God skinny jeans were in, and they made some money off of that, you know.
The zipper ones.
Yeah, correct. And then fast forward, they're all wearing baggy pants, baggy shirts, and then they're all saying that was their idea from the very get-go.
Yeah.
And that's when I kind of like started like distancing myself away. And then they got an intern. And then when I left, they started dropping everything that I would make for myself. They started dropping vests, loose pants. It's like just a whole bunch of shit, which I'm not even tripping. Yeah, that's just one of the stories. So yeah, you're all gonna get ripped off, but you have to get ripped. Like I said, you have to get ripped off because of that. I don't want to say because of that specific time, but I met other people because of all these bad experiences I've had.
Yeah.
I met the homie Stu. I met the homie Max from Uniform Studio. Shout out Uniform Studio.
Max, Asian dude, right?
No, Max is Max.
Oh, dude.
With the curly hair, remember him? The younger one.
Yeah.
They took the brand from him. Yeah, that sucks. See, I don't even want to say the brand's name, but it was his brand, and then they pretty much took the brand from him.
MC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he started it. Him and his friend Daryl,
Yeah.
they started it together, and then they brought it up. Then these two people came as investors, quote unquote, and they're like, "Oh, we'll help you with production. We'll help you with production," because they had the printing stuff already, and we'll just get a percentage of it. And they were just like, all right, signed it. But then they brought another partner into it. And then I was there. This is why me and those other people kind of fell off. Because I was there when they were a group, and they were trying to get rid of the big investor that came because he was trying to change everything. So then they had a meeting, all three of them, Max and those two other nobodies. And they were talking about how they were going to go about it. And they all agreed. I was in the room. They all agreed that they were going to meet up with this random investor that came in last and kick him out. Because if it's 3 versus 1, they were just kick him out.
Yeah.
So then they went into the meeting. I wasn't there in that meeting, though, when they actually went to confront him. But I was outside, and then I seen them all go in. And it was strange to me because then I just seen my homie Max come out super mad. And then he was just, all right, bro, this is probably... I think he said, like, this is probably one of the last times I'm going to see you. And I was just like, what the fuck? And then I was thinking, like, oh, maybe they're being mediators and they're, like, trying to be cool. But they all stuck to their guts. But then when they come out, I see them, the other two guys, like, being all cool with the other investor that they were supposed to kick out.
They kicked out Max instead.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Grimy, and he started the whole brand. And then, you know what's crazy? Since Max started the brand from the beginning, he was using his credit line for, and then I never really changed. I guess that's his bad, kind of, you know. They never made the official change where it's like it's 3 of us as opposed to 1.
Yeah.
So then Max, and then they didn't want to pay Max his buyout because they still have to buy him out, right? So then Max just pulled out his buyout out of the PayPal thing, which is like, I don't want to say numbers, but he pulled out. I put it on my grandma. I put it on God that he didn't take a single penny more, you know. But they made it seem like he tried to steal the money.
What the fuck?
And then they were bringing another partner in, right? And then they were bad mouthing Max, and they were saying that he was a thief. And then. You know me, I have a big mouth, and then I opened up and I was like, how's Max a thief? Like, oh, he took however much amount of money from our bank account. And I was like, you guys never paid him his buyouts. Like, there's text messages where he's hitting you up like, hey, bro, like, can I get my money? And I heard you guys be here, and like, you guys are just like, why does he keep texting us? Is he talking to himself? Like, he's crazy. Like, being grimy, you know? And then I brought that up in front of their next business partner, and after that's when they were just mad at me.
Yeah.
They thought I took a side, but I didn't take a side. I was there.
You took what was fair to Max.
Yeah, Max didn't do anything. Bro, just to put it this way, me and Max didn't get along when we first met.
Yeah.
Like, bad. Like, it was pretty fucking bad. But at the end of the day, he's not a bad person. Like, I also don't like to hold people to my standards. Because he's just his own person, but he's still a good-hearted person. You know, that's what I could tell. Those other 2 guys play to be the good-hearted person. Like, you meet them, they're like, hey, how's it going? Like, trying to act like Mr. Rogers. You know what I mean? Like, very nice and soft-spoken. And then as opposed to Max, you go up to him, and he's just a dick.
Yeah, he's like blunt.
blunt, but that's him though.
Yeah.
So I respect it because then you get to know him, and it's like he's blunt with everybody, but he's really like a nice, good-hearted person, as opposed to the other person pretending to be nice, and they're just like plotting on you. You know?
I can tell that about Max from the go. Like he's a good-hearted dude.
Yeah, and I think it's just because like you're very open, and you could tell that right away. See, like before, how I was before. I was just like, oh, this guy's a dick. Fuck him. Yeah. You know? I'm going to just go to the guy who's very nice, you know? But then you learn, you like rapidly learn that usually the people who are acting to be super nice or like I said, Mr. Rogers, because I also come off very nice, but kind of like being myself. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I own up to it. I'm a little like, bro, I'm sorry. I came from Guatemala, and I'm sorry I didn't end up in Beverly Hills. Yeah. I ended up in fucking San Pedro, and not even in the good side of San Pedro. I ended up like in the ghetto, so all my homies were just like this. So this is just how I carry myself, you know. But still, I'm a good-hearted person. So
I mean, it makes you,
so I try. I'll be nice, but then people still laugh because like my hands are moving everywhere. I'm talking like I get it, you know, like. I don't talk proper English, you know? Like, I get it, but still, like, people could tell, like, oh, this guy's legit, though, you know?
And this comes back to, like, what we were talking about a few weeks ago. It's not really about being professional, but about being respectful.
And good. And, like, just a good-hearted person, yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
So when you were working with those dudes, could you tell, like, what was, like, could you feel, like, energy, I guess? Like, could you tell, like...
No, yeah, most definitely. Like, every time, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Okay, like let me just put it like, I started getting tattoos and then they started cutting my hours.
Oh,
because and then I don't know, I'm not a mind reader, but the way I felt it's like they weren't even paying me good. They were giving me like an allowance. They were giving me $350 a week. That's shit, bro. That's shit. Like no matter how many hours, sometimes I'll be there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Every fucking day, bro. But they were just giving me a set allowance. But I put myself in that position because I offered them that. So I could kind of be around because I wanted to learn too. So like I'm also not trying to make it seem like they're all that bad. But they are, bro. Because if somebody offered me that, I'll be like, okay, I'll take it for now, bro. But I am going to increase your pay as we go, you know? But they never really did. So yeah, and then like when I would come, you know, I started saving up. And besides, bro, I've always been like, not even to sound like that, but I'm not a victim. Like let's say I put myself in that deal, like you better bet when I get off at 8 o'clock, I'm gonna be figuring out how to make some more money so I can complete, you know, so I could pay the bills, you know. So then I was doing like random shit, like making clothes for other people, and now I was designing. And that's one thing. Like no matter what I could say, I met a lot of people just being in that office for all those years, you know, just shaking hands. And then from there they'll be like, oh, what do you do? I'm a designer. Oh, let me see your work. Okay, could you design for me? And I'm not gonna lie, I was getting jobs. And then that's when I was getting jobs for like $300 a design. Oh, shit. And then they made it so like they wanted a percentage, and I said, look, you could have a percentage as long as you're in charge of charging, you're in charge, you know, just picking up my money, like do something, you know. And they were just like, yeah, we'll do it. And then sure enough, we started doing it, and then now I'm in charge of charging. Now they're even talking bad about me with other clients, saying like, oh, we don't even get no money out of it, like trying to make like, bro, you do get a percentage out of it. That's why we're charging this much. And now you're not, instead of backing me up, you're backing the client, you're backing the other people
people that don't even know.
Yeah, and it's like you're supposed to be getting our money, you know. So like, and like a lot of times, like I started making like $1,000 moves, you know, and then, but think about it, they were getting a certain percent, so then they were just getting a big percentage. So I was working for free. I was pretty much making my money. They were taking that percentage and paying me my weekly with that percentage.
What the fuck?
Which I guess it's good for them, but they weren't doing their side of the deal where they have to be quote unquote managers and start charging for me, quoting me, like giving me my money, etc., you know.
It was taking a lot from you.
Yeah, and then okay, so then when I started getting tattoos, they stopped trying to get me like jobs. They were cutting my hours, and then they were just, one of them even sat me down and was like, hey bro, I think you're blowing your money. And I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? You guys give me $350 a week, like how am I blowing my money? Like they were just having conversations with me where I could tell that they were just like upset.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, whatever.
Would you consider how do you differ like a business person from a creative?
Okay, like Because I feel like they were business persons as opposed to creative.
It feels like, because what you're telling me, it seems like they're taking away the power from your creation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, correct.
Like
okay.
stuff in the music industry, like Kanye.
Yeah. No, yeah, so that's how I feel about them, like, as opposed to, like... No, honestly, I kind of feel like they're business people who want... One of them, specifically, and that's the one that thinks he's the nicest, like the Mr. Rogers one guy. He is a businessman, which is... He's not even a good one, to be honest. He's just one of those people that sues people, and that's how you got a hold of a little bit of money, you know?
Fit him?
Huh?
Fit him?
Yeah, the Fit him guy. Yeah, he's just... Like, he claims to have his own house, bro. He lives in his parents' back house.
Right.
Like, that's not your own house, but when you, like, present yourself to people, you're like, oh, yeah, I have my own house. Like, you know, I think this guy wanted to be a creative, but he just doesn't have it.
Yeah.
So, but then now he's still trying to hold on to that dream. So, he just puts everybody else down, you know? Like, it's funny because some other guy came through. Oh, you remember that guy? The guy that I stalked out? He would like but the guy that designed for him. Well, I made the designs, but then he got the credit. But they had him because they could like easily manipulate him, like. But you know, it's funny, they thought that, and then that guy, they did a collab with him. Well, they funded his little brand, and he sold shit, and he ran off with the money. That's funny, you know?
Yeah.
And that's funny because they thought I would do that only because I could stand up for myself.
Yeah.
That's why they never really wanted to give me a chance, because they knew, like, if they tried to rip me off, like, I wouldn't run off. I'll face them, you know? Like, hey, bro, what are you trying to do, buddy?
You know? You took the right stand.
Yeah. It's supposed to, they tried to go with the guy that they thought they could manipulate completely, and guess what? That guy ended up being a thief and ran
that's
off.
understandable, you know? Like, it's based off of his...
Yeah, it's based off how he moved already, you know?
Yeah. What happened with the guy that you roughed up?
Oh, because they had him, and then they would always talk shit about me. Like, every day when I was there, like, I could just feel the energy. They're talking shit about me, making fun of me. Like, oh, look at him, he's sweating. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, how are they going to be making fun of you for sweating and working hard when it's for their company? But anyways, so then that guy started getting like jealous because I was getting a lot of jobs, and then he would be like, hey, I designed too, and then they'd be like, no, we kind of want to work with him type shit, you know? Because that guy's annoying. He's one of those guys like, oh, I'm a creative, I don't pick nothing up, like type shit. And people feel that energy, like when they think they're above somebody, like, bro, I don't want to fuck with you, you know? And then as opposed to me, like, you can hit me up any time of the day, I'm gonna hit you up, I'm gonna be very professional, not even fake professional, just nice, I guess, you know? Respectable. Yeah, correct. So then this guy was trying to get me get me fired from there, but I didn't know this, right? But they were all like, whatever, against me. And then this guy comes up to me once, and he's like on drugs, and I'm designing in the office, right? They had a security camera, so I'm glad that happened, because he tried to make it seem like he walked in the room and I just took off on him. So I'm just working, and then he's just sitting there. He's just like, hey, bro, like, I need to talk to you. And then I'm just like, what's up? And then he's like, hey, I don't like you here. He started saying, like, I don't like you here. I think there's going to be some changes. And I was just like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, this is kind of, like, you're sounding a little crazy right now.
Came at you sideways.
Yeah, you're sounding a little crazy right now. And he's like, no, listen to me. I want to know what happened between you and a kid from San Pedro, right? Like, some shit happened, right? A while back. I want to know what happened with you and that kid. And I'm just like, yo, bro, what the fuck, bro? Like, that's weird. Are you a cop or something? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I got, you know, like, it was weird. Like, are you, like, how do you know about this shit? You know? And then he's just like, and then he goes, because I'm famous and people reach out to me and then they tell me shit about people like you. And I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, I was like, honestly, bro, that's none of your business. This is something that happened between me and somebody back at home. I don't know why you're bringing this up here in our workspace. And he's like, no, I'm gonna get rid of you because I don't like people like you, and that kid's gonna come over here and take your place. And I was just like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, yeah, I don't want you here, and you're gonna be out of here, and he's gonna come over here and take your place. And then I was in my head, I blacked out. But the way I thought is like, okay, if you're gonna get me fired for something that has nothing to do with this, but you're gonna get me fired over it, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
So I just got up and I was like, I lost my job, you know. Boom, slapped him. Boom, he just drops. And I'm just like fucking him up. Then they come, some guy comes in and breaks it up. Then the guy just says that he has anger problems. I just walked in here and he doesn't like me and he started hitting me. But there was a security camera and then that's where the video. There's a video, you know, and I just don't want to like really expose it.
So the one that you had put in the
yeah, that's just a little clip. So then he starts saying that, and then he comes back and now he starts saying like random shit, bro. Like he's like, you know, the cops listen to all this shit, so I can't even get into detail. But he starts telling like what they were my bosses at the time. He goes all this kind of random shit, like bad shit. You know what I mean? Like who cares, bro? Like it's no secret. You know, I think that's part of like what makes me special. You know, I've gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Like like rappers wish they've gone through the shit that I've gone through. And like even like in the fashion industry now, it seems kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm a hard designer. Like, no, you're not. You're a wiener. Like I could just tell by the way you move that you're a weenie, homie. Like you've never gone through shit. Like you're afraid to fight. You're a weenie, homie. Like you have a gun and you're not gonna use it. You're a weenie, homie. It's a registered gun. What are you gonna do with a registered gun but snitch? You're a weenie, homie. Yeah, you know. Like,
does this relate back to what was happening a few weeks ago?
No.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
that's what I'm trying to... Yeah, no, not at all. So, I'm sorry, where was I?
Just the cops were at the scene questioning you.
Oh, no, I said I can't really talk into detail. Oh, no, it wasn't the cops. It was my boss.
Oh, boss.
Yeah, okay, now I remember. So he was telling my boss that I'm just like this violent person, you know, and then... He's just there, but you could tell that he's being a weenie too, and he's kind of like, oh, I can't get rid of him now because it kind of makes it seem like we're all into this together, you know? So whatever, we're cool, and then the guy, it's funny, like, there's a second part to the video that nobody has seen. The guy starts saying, like, you're a bitch, you cheap shotted me, I'll fuck you up right now. And I was like, all right, fuck me up, put your hands up, right there. And then my boss just sat there and he's like, go ahead. And then the other guy put his hands up, and I don't know, some people are like mental, dude. Like they think, so he put his hands up and I was like, all right, boom, boom, boom. You start bombing on him, bro, and then he's just like, stopping on him. Bro, what?
Yeah.
Like, you just said you were gonna fuck me up, and I got lucky, and I cheap shotted you or whatever, you know, like. And then they had to like split it up, and then he said it once again, like, oh no, again, and then we go, and the same thing happens. This guys, anybody who's watching out there, I know you guys' egos, your guys' dicks are little, but if you're not a fighter, don't act like a fighter, because the majority of the world are not.
Yeah, facts.
But like, there's a small percentage, and you're gonna run into them some one day. And you're going to get hurt really, really fucking bad. Like, if you're not a tough guy, just don't be a tough guy. Like, just don't. It's not cool. Like, stop looking at music videos. Stop looking at TV. Like, it's better to be nice. It's tougher to be nice. As a man, it's tougher for a man to be nice than a man to be tough.
Facts.
Just put it that way, guys.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Do you think that stems into mental health?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, because... I wasn't never like this. When I came from Guatemala, I was like the sweetest kid. Like, I remember like writing notes and stuff. Girls used to always write me notes. We'll talk on the phone, and they're always like, oh, you're like a big teddy bear, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But then again, I was never like, we were never hooking up. I was never like making out with these girls. They were just friends, you know?
So like you still had your innocence.
Yeah, correct. And then honestly, when it went wrong, it was like about okay, so I got in my very first fight in 8th grade. Some boxer guy was just like, he kept pushing me, and then he kept saying that he was a boxer, so he was gonna beat me up. Yeah. So then we went and we started going at it, and boom, boom, I took off on him. Then I remember, the homie, I haven't seen him in years, but Dre, he had just came from Dodson from getting kicked out of a different school, but he was just a new kid. And you know, usually the kid that gets kicked out, he's usually like the cool kid. Yeah. He was good at sports too, you know. He came up to me and was like, oh, I seen you get in that fight. That was tight, you know. Yeah. And I remember that. But that didn't do much to me because it was already like the end of the year, and I already had a set group of friends. But whatever. Then high school comes, and I remember I don't even want to say his name, but he's like my best fucking friend now. So me, my best friend... And then my our older homie Andy, shout out Andy Flores. Go if you want to fix your phone, Shattered. Go with Shattered. He owns that. Him and his family, huh?
Is it the white dude?
The younger white dude.
I think so.
Yeah. It's him. So when I was in 9th or 10th grade, he was like in 10th or 11th grade, or even a senior. But for some reason, he told me like, "Come hang out with me," right? So I would hang out with him. And then me and my other homie had a class with him, an art class.
Yeah.
Because in art, like all grades are mixed.
Oh
Yeah. So then we're just sitting there, and then my other homie, he was a dick too. He says he didn't do that, but he was just like bullying me, like throwing erasers at me, and I got mad, and also my ego too, And I was like, "Fuck you, let's fight." And then obviously my homie Andy is instigating. I'm like, "Yeah, let's fight," So then after we go out and we fight and whatever, like I kind of win, but I was bigger. Like it was, and I was fatter too back then. I was way bigger back then.
Yeah.
Too. And then the homie's small too. And then it was back then too. Now the homie's cut up, like, and we would never fight each other, but like it's funny because we fight with each other like plenty of times now, but we don't fight each other. But anyways, so then me and the homie fought, and then it was a big coincidence. Me and the homie fought. The principal walks in. I just like go back, and I just get into the crowd. But he was like on the floor, you know what I mean? Because I had one, and he gets him, so he gets kicked out. Nobody knows it's me, so he gets kicked out. He gets sent home early, but he was like a skater. He was already a bad kid, So then when he got kicked out, he just went home early, and then his parents let him go out. So then he goes skating at the Van skate park and breaks his arm that day. Yeah. So then when he comes back on Monday, it seems like I broke his arm.
Oh.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyways, fast forward, now I'm walking through and everybody's like, "Oh, look, that's the kid that fought so-and-so." And then some people are looking at me mad, some people are just saying, but now I'm getting the what's up from random people. I'm getting random handshakes from random people. And I talked to my homie about it. That's when it hit. Like,
yeah. When was it? Like
that's
like the macho.
Yeah, the macho. It wasn't really the macho hit. It was more of like if I want to be cool. Because
I gotta move.
Like a little quick intro. I should have said it from. I was actually born in Guatemala, so I'm an immigrant. So like, but in Guatemala, I had like a cool little life. I had cable, so I grew up watching The Fresh Prince, a lot of American movies. So then when I came here, I didn't have no friends. So my whole thing was like, I was trying to be this kid from the movies.
Yeah.
The cool kid from the movies. So from then, like, random people are shaking my hands. So then I just started fighting nonstop, dude. Like, I was just addicted to fighting. Like, for no reason.
It became like
a bully. At first, I started fighting, trying to not get bullied, and then quickly became a bully.
Was it for a reputation?
Yeah, well, to be cool.
Be cool.
That's what I'm trying to say, yeah. And that's what a lot of kids are out there have right now. Because I see them, like, it's easier for me to see it now. And they can't see it.
Yeah.
Because bro, when you kick it with a lot of these people who are in the street, like, you see them and they're just like, they have the bandanas tied around them. They're acting all super tough. But when you're in the room with them, like,
they're chill?
Super chill. Like, funny, sweet. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
I guess it just comes down to, like,
trying to just put this little aura that, like when you're watching TV, the tough guy wins, like whatever, but it's not true, bro. Like, it's really not true. Like, you should just be a really cool person. I'm not saying be a wiener, you know what I mean? Like, if somebody tries you, but wait for them to try you. As opposed to just like, if you see somebody who you don't know, you're just gonna start looking at them like, bro, no, like, you don't own the world, bro. Like, you don't own nothing in this world. Like, if somebody wants to come and hang out in this park, they could, bro. Like, you don't have to. It's not your park ever,
Yeah.
Or like, if somebody doesn't dress like you don't have to commentate on it, because they probably think you look funny too, But they're not making fun of you.
So where would you say, like, where do you think that the whole idea that's what they have to do comes from?
Just growing up, that's like some LA shit.
Yeah,
I guess it's all over the world, but like from my experience, it's not even. I'm from San Pedro. I'm from Harbor area, but like it's still LA County. It's not LA County. I know everybody who's watching this like, no, you're not from LA. You're from Harbor area. But overall, I'm saying like it's a little Southern California LA gang shit. Like growing up, bro. Like when you're growing up in one of these areas, and it's more into poverty shit. you kind of look up to, like, as much as your parents tell you that they're bad people, but they're the kids that are out all the time having fun.
Yeah.
It looks like they have cars early in life. You know what I mean? Like, because my parents are very nice, bro. I have a very nice family, and they try to keep me away from everything for the longest. But I always wanted a car. I always wanted different hats every day. I always wanted different clothes every day. You know what I mean? And then you start trying to figure out that to do that by hanging around in this group, you're gonna make money. You know?
Yeah.
And then you start doing that. And then, like, if you want, yeah, it's an LA thing. Like, you have to be tough. You have to be
That's kind of
with the shits. You know?
Yeah. That's like the collective thinking almost, right?
Collective thing, yeah. You have to be with the shits, otherwise you're a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in reality, it's not even like that, bro. In reality, now I see the homies who were just like athletes, or like, did you ever see? I don't know. I feel like it's different for your generation. I feel like your generation's mostly all like that. You guys go out and party, but you guys do your homework too. That's what I see about my brother. My brother fucking parties, bro. But he takes care of shit first, you know?
Yeah.
And I see him and like Cisco and them, like back in the day, like they would just be doing homework together. And I was just like, fuck, that's crazy, because me and the homies could have been doing the same thing, you know? Just 1 hour and a half of doing homework, and then we could still go out and do whatever we do, you know?
Maybe that came from like learning from
our generation. I think so too. Yeah, because I did make it a lot easier for my brother, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know Julio. He's had, like,
that's my boy.
He was wearing Louis Vuitton when he was in middle school, but that was because of me, you know?
He was like one of the freshest kids in high school.
Yeah. I remember. So I made that, you know, he never really had to worry about, like, how am I getting money for clothes? Even though he's always had, like, a job, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, too, about me. I've always, like, been a hustler, but I was the first one to have a job. A lot of people, I think I'm known in San Pedro because of my first job. I don't want to shout them out either because they don't fuck with San Pedro. But the sandwich shop on... I'll tell you after, because I don't even want to give the cross streets because people will know right away. But yeah, that guy, he doesn't care for San Pedro. And it's funny, I drive by now and he wears the little SP hat. But bro, I promise you, when I used to work there, he used to be like, I'm not from San Pedro. I just take their money. Like, he used to tell me shit like that. He used to be like, huh?
No, it was like...
Yeah, he used to just talk shit. And even Joe Buscaino, he was his best friend. And he would walk in there and he's like, yeah, I fucking hate longshoremen. They're just idiots. They get paid a lot of money and they think they're cool. Like, they're retarded. And I'm just like, Joe Buscaino, what are you talking about? Like, you're supposed to be, what is he? Like the mayor of San Pedro or the council of San Pedro?
Mayor.
Yeah, but you're talking and he's just like, oh man, I want to get rid of all these fucking ghetto ass San Pedro people and just bring, like, he was trying like pretty much like say like he hates San Pedro, like he hates the real San Pedrians. He hates. He just likes people above Westerns.
Yeah.
And I heard that for myself, but it's like, bro, I'm also a little. Back then, I'm a young kid, you know. Like I would tell people, and they'll be like, "You're tripping." Like, he didn't say that. Like, he came to my job and shook my hand. Like, yeah, bro, he's a politician. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my first job. But yeah, I've always had a job. Always had a job. Always hustled. Yeah.
When you came from Guatemala, would you say you got culture shocked?
Hell yeah. I was like scared. Like for years I was scared.
You came what grade? Or
I was 8, so I was like in second grade, but they moved me up to 3rd grade.
Oh shit.
Because in Guatemala, like, education is a lot faster. So like I came over here, I already knew how to divide, I knew how to multiply, and like kids were learning how to add and shit, you know. But the way it works, it's like they would put me in the math class and science class for 3rd grade, but then English class they would move me down to 2nd grade. So I was like one of the few kids like doing periods.
Yeah.
Because in elementary school you don't do periods. You're not switching classrooms, but I was.
Did you come here knowing English, or did you have to pick that up along the way?
I had to pick it up along the way. I did go to private school in Guatemala because I come from a better life in Guatemala. But, I mean, like, learning English in Guatemala is nothing to learning real English, you know?
How would you say... How did it differ, I guess?
It's like...
Picking up the lingo, right?
It's just like, I don't know, it's just... Like anything else, like if you're learning how to like speak a language on YouTube and you know a couple basic words like apple, hi, hello, as opposed to like speaking the whole sentence, you know?
I see.
Yeah, I remember I used to live across the street from Reina Park. That's where my grandma, she had an apartment there. And then when we came, all 6 of us lived in one little room that she just let us, she let us stay there while we are trying to like get money, jobs, and all that, you know?
Yeah.
And then I remember going across the street to Reina Park with my parents, and I didn't know at the time, but then I kind of figured out that they're the homies. I'm not even gonna say their name now, but we're super young, and I was there, and they just came up to me like, "Yo, you speak English?" Like as a little kid, you know, badass fucking kids. And then I'm just like, "Oh no, no, no!" My parents are watching, and then they're just like, "Say I'm gay, say I'm gay." And I remember, me just being again, I'm gay, and then we just laughing. They're like, "Say I'm a bitch, say I'm a bitch," and I would just be like, "Oh, I'm a bitch." And I remember my parents like pulling me to the side, and that day, and they're like, Don't repeat what kids tell you to say. You know, they didn't even know what it meant either, but they could tell by the way they were just laughing every time I would say it. They could tell like there was something like they were just fucking with me. Because, you know? Yeah. And it's funny because like all these people growing up, they all become the homies. Like I fought so many people, and they're all the homies now. Yeah. Like my close homies, like not like close homies, like because I don't hang around with nobody every day, like at all. Like I'm by myself most of the time. So a lot of times when I say close friends, people are like, "That's a lie. I don't ever see you with them." It's like, bro, you don't see me with nobody. But like when shit hits the fan, me and them like, no, it's cool. Or like if I was to be driving by and I was to see the homies like get into some kind of scuffle, you know, I'll jump in for like sure. Or I'll try to help them, you know.
Somebody you got mutual respect with.
Yeah, correct. And a lot of these people just because now that I'm older, I do realize like. Shout out a lot of the homies, like all the bastards and shit. Like I used to, like we would get into it, and then they had something to do. But I also, now that I realize, I have a smart ass mouth, you know. So if they're trying to tell me something, I'm shooting it right back, you know. And then they're like getting hurt about it, you know, because I'm very good. I'm like sharp with words, you know. So then we would just fight. Well, I'll get jumped. Whatever, you know, it doesn't matter. Fun shit, you know?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it the other way, you know? Because I feel like that's what makes me me.
Yep.
Like, a lot of people now who are famous, quote unquote, or trying to be famous, try to portray this, like, lifestyle, you know? And I'm not trying to say I'm the baddest kid. I think that's what makes me special. I'm a good kid. I'm really a good kid. Anybody watching this will be like, Artie's a good kid. He comes from a good family, but he's fucking crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not all up there, you know? But it's not that I'm not all up there. It's that I come from a good family, but then I was raised by crazy motherfuckers too, you know? Like, and then no matter how hard your parents try, they can never, like, unless they're have you by a collar, they're never gonna be able to separate that. And that's what I'm trying to learn too, you know? Like, when I become a dad.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that I would much rather be straight up with my kids so then they could come and tell me. Like, me and my sister have a tight bond. Like, she'll come and tell me some shit that sometimes it's like, damn, I don't even know if I really want to hear that, you know? But I know that I much rather, like, listen to that and give her some real advice instead of flipping out, you know? Because, okay, what good does it do if somebody trusts you and then they tell you something, you flip out on them, like, oh, what the fuck? No, like, I kind of see it, and I used to try to lay out their options, like this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, or this is gonna happen. Like, there's just no going around it. But I can't convince you. You're gonna go out and do your own shit, no matter what. But yeah, so I wish my parents would have had that. Me and my parents have that now. Me and my parents are very, very open now. But if we had it as a kid, I think I would have been. No, I don't like to be on a would have, should have. But I always say it. I think I would have been on by now.
Were restrictions tighter in Guatemala than they were here?
Yeah, my restrictions were tighter here till I was like 16 or 17.
Oh shit.
And I started running away. I used to never even be able to go outside. I used to go out with this girl, and I remember she said, "Hey, could you take me out to the movies?" So I was like, "Oh, hell yeah." So I come home excited. I'm like, "Hey, Dad, do you think you could give me and this girl?" I'm thinking like this is going to be a moment, you know?
Yeah.
"Could you give me and this girl a ride to the movies?" And he's like, "What? What? You're fucking blah, blah, however old I am, 15, 16. You're fucking gonna disrespect me by asking me that?" And I literally got grounded for the rest of the summer.
Oh shit.
Yeah, my parents, and then my dad explained to me as I got older that he had me when my mom got pregnant when he was 17, going into 18. So he was kind of living subconsciously, you know, now that we know about that. Subconsciously, he was holding me back, thinking that, I hate to say it, but I kind of like must have ruined his life, you know, in a way. Not even like that, but I must have put a hard stop to his life, you know, compared to what it was, you know.
I think it was more like he didn't want you to deal with that
Yeah, correct. Like, I'm not mad at him. I don't blame him. Because I do see his good intentions, but I also see how you can't avoid, like you just can't avoid it. Or sometimes it gets worse because I feel like I got cooped in so tight. Then when I finally came out, that's why I was just so like active, like because I was just trying to make up for
like lost time.
Lost time, yeah. Like I've already had like homies who've been to juvie, and I know there's people watching this who are like, wait, what? Like, you were jealous of your homies to win the juvie? Yeah, like, growing up in LA, yeah, I was jealous of my homies that went to juvie because, like, it seemed like they had, like, an upper on me. And then also, like, a lot of people aren't going to believe this. When the homies would go to juvie and they would come out, they would have all the freshest clothes. Yeah. All the freshest clothes. Like, their parents would spoil the shit out of them. They would have, like, Lacoste on. But now I see it, like, as a parent, you miss your kid. Like, they're gone. Like, yeah, you're going to spoil them when they come back, no matter what they did.
Yeah.
But I would look at it as the wrong way, and I'm just, I need to go to juvie so all the homies could be like, oh, he just came out of juvie, and my parents would give me a gang of clothes.
Yeah, this your life, you can play with it. You make your bed, you gon' lay in it. Do your thing, just be safe with it. Triple bunks in the state prison.